Okay, I just wanted to make a quick video of some of the channels on YouTube related to gaming that I enjoyed the most over the past year. For me, finding particular channels that I like can be kind of difficult with YouTube. I mean, if you just go to the generic gaming page and whatnot, it's kind of hard. So if there's a lot of, in the past year I found a lot of Fortnite or other similar type games, which it's fine if you're into that, but I don't really want to see those channels. So, I mean, these are just some of the channels that I've enjoyed. I'm not saying I exhausted every single video on all the channels and know them inside and out, but I just want to give a shout out to them because I like at least some of their videos and find them interesting or entertaining. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, this is Air Bear, smaller channel. I haven't really covered his gaming, the games that he plays or whatnot, but he does some pretty good reviews of some of the more advanced controllers with like the scuff controllers or the other ones that have pedals on the back or customizable controllers that are $100 plus. I think he does a pretty good job with that. It's mostly what I know him for. Tarmack, unfortunately, I think something with work came up, so around last year in June 2018, like, he kind of stopped making videos, but when he was making videos, I enjoyed the type of content that he was making, and I hope things are going well for him. Maybe someday he'll come back, or if not, it was good while it lasted. MandaloreGaming is one that I haven't looked into as much. I watched some of his like Gothic or Pathological Classic. I guess it's like a Russian game. I found real interesting, and some of just the older games that he chooses to cover seems pretty cool, and seems like it's more older stuff but whatnot, but definitely one I want to dive into more. Virtual Reality Oasis. This is probably one of the best channels if you want to get into like a VR. I believe that Mike hosts it. He's pretty likable, puts out pretty decent amount of content with frequency wise, and for all things VR, this is one I'd follow. Related to virtual reality, Oasis, this is probably the best VR podcast that's done weekly that I've came across. Granted, there's not a whole lot, but they go into it in pretty high depth, and if you're interested in VR, then I'd check out this podcast. NakeyJakey, I've watched some of his videos and whatnot. His little op-ed pieces. I think his most iconic thing is that he's always sitting on a yoga ball, and just how well done his videos are, the editing in them, and at least in some of them it's notable how it's pretty entertaining when he gives a shout out to his Patreon viewers and whatnot in the credits in some sort of song or jingle. It's pretty cool. Raycevick, he does a lot of documentaries, video essays, whatever you want to call them. Older games, I've enjoyed the Mass Effect ones. He did the Halo games too, and it's just always a treat once he puts out something new because it's going to be high quality, and I like those types of videos. Rags, he hasn't put out a lot of stuff recently, but he just has an infectious personality. He goes after people pretty hard when they say some stupid shit and whatnot, but he does it in an entertaining way, and I hope he puts out some more videos. Top Hats and Champagne, kind of related to Rags, although with Rags you're probably get like a 40 minute to hour long video roasting the person, which Top Hats usually goes 10 to 15 minutes, and nothing that's really malicious. He just calls out stupid shit, which can be pretty entertaining. I think he's working on an indie game or an adventure game, so it's pretty cool. Joseph Anderson, again, another channel that does documentaries and whatnot, which it's just one of the things I really enjoy. Zaric Zhakaron, I apologize if I misspoke that. He does a lot of Bethesda game studios coverage and RPGs. I really enjoyed his coverage of the going over all the different Elder Scroll games, and in particular covering Daggerfall, a game that I never played growing up. I was too little and whatnot. It was just fascinating hearing him talk about that, and he also kind of predicted that Bethesda Game Studios would have a games as a service, I think like in March or April of 2018, but it was even worse than he thought it was going to be. But he does some pretty insightful analysis of Bethesda in particular. Okay, Laymen Gaming, they cover the news and whatnot. I like them mostly just because of their funny gags at the beginning of their videos. I mean, they get me to chuckle, and I find them amusing, and then they talk about the news. Related to that, Laymen Gaming, his skill ups, I think this is the younger brother, Ralph's channel, which I originally found first, and then the Layman. And he does video reviews, or longer form video, dives into videos like the Assassin's Creed Odyssey one, which I found a lot of agreeing with a lot of the points he was making. But it's pretty cool. And his I think he did a Division 1.8 update video about a year ago, and he just had like a 20 or 15 minute long intro, which that was pretty amazing. I liked it and stuff. I like his videos. I'm not trying to make fun of the guy. It's pretty cool. YongYea, he does a lot of videos covering the news and the games and stuff. I mean, granted, a lot of these channels aren't particularly tiny. I mean, he has like close to 750,000 subscribers, so obviously he's well known. But the way he covers the games and gaming news, it's pretty unbiased for the most part. And that's something that I don't think you find today in like a lot of traditional gaming websites. Just unbiased coverage, more pro-consumer, looking out for the consumer. I think he does that pretty well. Super Bunnyhop, he does in-depth videos and stuff, and I think a year ago, when some of the inspiration for this video was Skillub did a video about some of his favorite gaming YouTubers and whatnot, and I think he said two of the only real gaming journalists would be Jason Schreier from Kotaku and Super Bunnyhop. And outside of like his reviews or analysis and stuff, I think he had coverage of Final Fantasy, Project W, which was from Eidos Montreal, that wasn't going to be made in Japan, which just things like that are fascinating, and I'm glad somebody's making that type of content. Okay, DreamcastGuy, he puts out a lot of videos. I like it. His reviews are fine. He seems pretty cool. Kind of a dork, but I mean, if you're going to gaming YouTube channels, I think we're all that at varying degrees. So I kind of wish he wouldn't make as many top 10 videos. I think he does one a week and stuff, and I feel like that just weakens his overall videos and stuff. But overall, I like a fair amount of them, but I don't think he should be forcing to put out top 10 videos that often, but what do I know? He clearly has a hell of a lot more subscribers than I do. And has been doing it much longer, so I could just be stupid and ignorant. Probably am. Okay, LegacyKillaHD. He does a lot of gaming news videos. Again, he's more consumer focused, for the advocate for everyday gamers and whatnot. I know in the last year he covered Red Dead Redemption pretty hard, and I assume this year it's going to be Cyberpunk 77, which I can understand. Those are pretty huge games that hopefully Cyberpunk will come out this year, but I kind of have my doubts. But that's just a feeling. Nothing else to go on it, Ben. Just what I feel. Okay, worth a buy. He mostly just reviews games and it doesn't give it a score or anything, but if it's worth playing or not, like the channel says, thumbs up or thumbs down. Entertaining. Sounds like he might be Scottish, but I'm not sure. I apologize if I get that wrong. I know he's from the UK, but it's always good to have that. A theme, I guess, with me is that I just like hearing from other everyday gamers or people who are not typically from the traditional gaming press. I like to hear from the average Joe or Jane's perspective on games and whatnot in general. In Foxy Games UK, he covers the news and games. He also seems to focus a lot on the next gen, so the PS5 and the Xbox One, 2, or whatever Microsoft's going to call it, the Scarlet system, the Scarlet family of consoles. He does a lot of that coverage and whatnot. He's pretty polite. I think he has some sources, but he doesn't really do huge leaks. He respects his sources and doesn't put out information that he's not supposed to. But I enjoy watching his videos as they come out. Okay, MrMattyPlays. I think he's originally did a lot of Bethesda Game Studios coverage. Clearly, you can see his icon has a little Fallout outfit on and whatnot, and I like his videos. He seems to stay more positive, but he's not shy to be critical when he has to. I've been following his channel for maybe the last year or so I'm not sure about his previous videos and whatnot. He is pretty young, but I'm impressed with his maturity and how he talks about games. And one of the big things is not just the videos that he puts out, but also that his ham radio podcast, he puts that out pretty weekly, and I enjoy listening to it. Okay, It's a Gundam. He does coverage of I guess gaming news with also some personality and humor mixed into it. You know, he's been covering the Twitch thoughts a lot and whatnot, and also his dog, his previous dog passed away. It's sad. It's always sad when you lose a pet or animal. But he also has a new little puppy. It's featured pretty prominently in like his unboxing videos. He gets gifts from fans and whatnot. But it's like his humor, and he also does a little puppet character sometimes with I guess it's mostly been with like the Twitch thoughts and whatnot, or female streamers on Twitch just acting ridiculous. And I find it pretty humorous, and I mean, he's gonna call stupid shit out, but he isn't really malicious about it. He's just like, if you're gonna be an idiot, then yeah, you're gonna call it out, and you're gonna get ridiculed and made fun of, but nothing like horrible. ACG, he's probably one of the biggest video game reviewers on YouTube. I've enjoyed his videos. I find that he does a lot of like graphic sound and different categories and whatnot, but I find I get a good sense of if I'm going to like a game or if a game's worth my money or not, just by going about how he talks about it and the fun factor at the end of the videos and whatnot. And some of the smaller channels with VR games and whatnot, with the reviews, it's like they're doing a book report, and you don't know if it's like they just kind of generally like it in general, but don't give you in the depth or if this is really a game that's worth playing, or is this just an enthusiast. It's just kind of like almost everything that gets put out, even though I've, there's only, well, there's probably more than a handful of great VR games now, but you just don't really get a good sense if it's worth paying for some of them with smaller channels that specifically cover VR reviews. And that's the complete opposite with I think Carrick's reviews. They give me a pretty good idea and sense, and if this game is worth buying right now or picking up later at a deeper discount, or not just discarding completely. And also, he does a lot of podcasts. His biggest one, or gaming related one, is international podcasts, which, I mean, again, they're just average gamers and whatnot. I think they're mostly around from Europe right now, or around the world. But I enjoy that. He also does a couple other ones, like he does a ham radio one with Mr. Matty. And he seems pretty cool and focused on covering games without losing perspective that I don't think he has a pretty big ego. He seems pretty humble. And finally, the last channel is Chris Davis. He does video game critiques, reviews, coverage of some smaller games. I know he's going through all the CRPGs from like the 1990s up and through current day, and that's a pretty big commitment and whatnot. And I've enjoyed like covering Fallout 1, Fallout 2, Torment, Planescape Torment, and whatnot, and also some of his more recent videos and stuff with some of the games he chooses to review or cover. And I think he does a pretty great job. And I think outside of the Mass Effect Andromeda one, I don't think his videos have gotten the views they probably should outside of this one, because I think he does some pretty great work in the videos he does put out. But I just like if more people found out about him or gave his channel a chance, because I don't think he's getting as much coverage as he probably deserves, but that's just my opinion. These aren't all the video game channels I've followed in the last year or so, but just some that I've enjoyed the most or found the most interesting. So I'm going to stop rambling and end the video now. So I hope your guys' week goes well and is safe, and I'll talk to you again later. Bye.